Hey, 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 everyone. It's Isaiah. Welcome, welcome. So I'm live today for the first time, but I'm going to be live later on again. And today is 2 days before the Women Lighting the Way
Ooh.
2023 starts.
Pretty.
And we've got another 4 speakers that I want you to meet. So today, Chris cannot be here today or this morning or afternoon, whatever, but she will be with us later. But now I am meeting with the amazing Joan Kennedy. I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh, so happy.
But before we go on talking about you, I'm sorry, I have to first remind everyone that doesn't have a ticket to come and listen, a free ticket to come and listen to the 14 amazing women that are in the summit, to run and get their ticket. You can find the link above or in the comments or everywhere. And hopefully, okay, sorry, I'm going to share it again because for some reason it didn't work. So yeah, you will find that in the comments. And really, this is the thing that you want to do this weekend, is listen to these amazing women telling their story. It's like, I've been repeating myself a lot and saying life-changing, extraordinary, amazing, but I think so. It's real, So if you don't have your ticket yet, go and get it. It includes freebies, access to giveaways, offers, but none of that is relevant. It mostly includes the amazing possibility to meet these incredible women and to hear their stories, amongst which, as I was saying previously, Joan. Welcome, Joan. One of the happy things for me about this summit, it's that this is year 3, and we've been now, I think, having people from almost every continent. And that is very important for me because I believe that we need more women's stories in the world. We need stories of success, stories of failure, stories that are neither success nor failure, but that have this feminine quality to them because they have been lived by women. And thus, being very happy that this year we have, again, a very global summit. My first question to you, Joan, would be, where are you from?
That is a hard question in a way to answer because where am I from or where is home? Firstly, I just want to say it is just amazing. These speakers, incredible. And I'm just so excited and want to say I'm so grateful, first of all, for being here and thank you for having me. I want to make you aware of that. So,
Thank you.
I am originally from Ireland. I'm originally from Dublin. And I am very proud to say that. I'm very proud to be Irish. And I live, but I've only spent half my life there because I used to work down in Dublin docks, right down the end of the docks, watching the ships come in. And I ended up, because I worked in a shipping company, I met my husband and he was on the other side. He was over in the UK. And we got to know each other and one thing led to another. And we are now proud to say that I'll be 32 years married in September. And he imported me over to the UK. So,
like I imported my husband to France as well.
So I have actually spent longer of my life now over here in the UK than I have because I was 25 when we got married. And I'm now 32, well, nearly 33 years here in the UK. So I live in the Midlands because the funny thing was when I moved away, everybody would say over there, because obviously we didn't have computers like what we do. I really feel old when I say this, but we didn't have computers. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have social media. So it was kind of, well, what part of London are you moving to? Because everybody, all my friends, everyone thinks that, that London is the UK.
Yeah.
And no, it's not.
No, it's not. I agree. It's like Paris is not France.
Yes. So I live in the Midlands of the UK. So, people now know where Manchester is. And they know where, generally like Manchester, they know where Birmingham is possibly. or if you want to say between Manchester and London, in the middle is the Midlands. And it's one of those areas that never gets mentioned. And even so much as on the weather forecast, we were talking earlier about the weather, but when you see the weather, they point up to Northern Ireland, they point up to Scotland, London, and somewhere else, and they never actually mention the Midlands. We're always left out. So
That's interesting.
yeah,
Weirdly enough, that's a part of England that I know very well, because my bestie,
yeah.
who I went to school with, like in France,
Mm.
has moved to the UK, married very happily for many years now, with a guy who lives in Loughborough, so in the
Oh,
Midlands.
okay, in the Midlands, yes.
And I have been over there very many times. She is the godmother for my sons. I am for hers. And so I've been very many times.
Yeah,
Birmingham, Loughborough, Leicester, Nottingham. This is just the place where
yeah.
I've visited most, I must say. So it's interesting that, I am the exception that knows the Midlands.
Knows Midlands. Well, have you been to Staffordshire?
Yes, I
Yes.
have. Yeah.
And you know what Staffordshire is famous for? I live in a
I
town,
know.
and you heard of? I'm sure you will know these big yellow diggers. They're JCB diggers. Do you have
Hmm.
those?
Yeah.
It's the land of JCB. JCB diggers. The Bamford, Mr. Bamford is the inventor of the JCB, and they have their main office. They're not the main office, the main workplace, I think. There's hundreds and hundreds of these JCBs that they have built in their factory in Staffordshire. So yes, it's famous for that. It's famous for its race course. I work. Yeah, here's my studio. So welcome everybody, and welcome Isaiah to my studio here at the end of my garden. And then sometimes I can hear the racehorses. I can hear them all cheering. Because the race course is just nearby.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, so
So
they
you have even in the sound you have a connection to animals.
oh
Because I know things about you because I listen to your story, right? I'm the lucky one who's listened to all the stories beforehand.
yeah,
And yeah, so it's interesting that the animals would have a part of your life even in the soundtrack, if I put it this way.
yeah. Animals are. I find even I've come into my art. I've been painting or drawing, whatever. I've been creative ever since I was a child, but it's really only in the sort of last really 5 years that I've kind of developed and kind of had the courage to call myself an artist. And excuse me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And the more I get into it, the more passion I feel for the pain of animals, and the more that I want to be the voice that can't be heard. The voice that's there, the voice to say, hang on a minute, we really have to stop being cruel to animals. And
Oh, you're going to have a blast on the live panels because some other
Mhm,
speakers are really passionate about similar topics. I can't
yeah,
wait for you to share on these topics. This is amazing. I love the synchronicity of that, you know.
yeah,
Every year we have kind of an untold topic. Year one, it was something around spirituality is okay. Like
yeah,
it's not shameful to be spiritual.
yeah,
Year two, there was a lot about the menstrual cycle and women and the connection to the cycle of
yeah,
their bodies, but of the earth, of the moon, etc. And
mm,
this year it's definitely animals.
oh,
There's so many of you that are um, in sync with animal thinking or animal behavior, working with animals in one way, shape, or form, and
yeah.
it's really fascinating how the universe conspires.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think it's meant to be. I think we all need. We've had COVID. That was a wake up call to say, hang on a minute. You know what I mean? That I think that was a wake up call to say, whatever you do, in this screen that you're looking at, actually there is a connection,
yeah,
and whatever you do, whether you throw something in the sea, or even something simple as those. I mean, I don't drink myself, but you know those cans of beer, you can have 4 cans and you have those
Mhm.
circular plastics.
Oh, this is killing animals. This
It's
is
killing them.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
because if you don't cut this plastic up, you just throw it in the bin, and a
Mm.
bird sticks its head through and it chokes. And you know, I'm not going to get into all this, but what I'm trying to say is that whatever you do, you are connected, and we are all
There
connected.
is an impact. Yes,
There is an
absolutely.
impact. There is
Yeah.
an impact,
Yeah.
and that
And we can, and it's our choice, each and every one of us at every minute, whether the impact is a positive one or a negative one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's
So, as a fellow artist, I'm gonna ask a few, or maybe one crazy question, like artisty question. So,
ooh.
is there um is there a medium that you've tried and that you would love to be good at, but you can't really? It's not your thing. Kind of, you have envy of. For me, it's pastel. I love pastel, but I can't do anything with it. Every time I try, it's like, nope, this is not. I love the idea of it, but I can't. So,
The
is there
only
something?
thing I can say, because I would say, is that I have had pastels and I've used them and I didn't like them because I didn't like all the mess.
Hmm.
So it wasn't because I was envious that I could do it, whatever. I just thought, nope, I don't like this. But
Okay.
it would be nice to use them. But what I have done is, have you heard of unison pastels?
Nope.
Right. So they're over here. Well, look up Unison, UNIS. I can send you the link, Unison. And because I'd seen a demonstration, somebody used these, they don't all fall apart and you don't get all
Ooh.
this mess. And do you want me to get them?
No, that's all right, because we,
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
but
okay,
maybe after the live, because I'm
yeah.
interested. But, but yeah,
But yes, these are now they're on the to-do list. I probably bought them 2 years ago. And there's certain paper that you can use, which you can experiment on, which that is supposed to be really good. So instead of kind of thinking, I'd love to do it, I'm envious, it's not you, it's probably the tools.
yeah, maybe it can. Yeah,
Maybe that could be.
maybe. But and on the other end of the spectrum, what is your favorite medium to use for art?
I'm a watercolor artist. So, and I love the watercolor. I love the whole magic. Do I love the magic of it? Yes and no, the
Yeah,
unpredictability.
yeah,
Because while I'm doing it, I am having heart failures, especially if I do a commission for someone, because with it can
yeah.
go wrong. And that's, but then when I see it and the magic of it, just leaving it and watching it form, and to throw ink on it, the colors are just great. But equally, I also love oils. I started off as oils. I used
Mm-hmm.
to, I started off with seascapes, doing all these
Mm-hmm.
seascapes in
Mm-hmm.
oils, and I want to go back to that too. My heart wants to go back, and I kind part of me thinks that actually you really should get good at one thing and really be good at one thing. And I feel there's so much I want to explore with watercolor. I'm not there yet to where I want to be. So
So you're choosing the focus over the polyamorous attitude. Let's put it this way.
I'm choosing that I want to know everything about my watercolor
Mm.
to the fullest. That's like that, as opposed to actually, which I have to. I mean, I could show you around all the different. I've got some acrylics over there and different bits and pieces, but I think I'm on this journey. You know, as an artist, as you know, you never know it all.
No,
And
absolutely not.
you know,
That we can very much agree.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, I think it's from time to time I go to the, oh, let me try experiment this new thing, and then I go back to, no, this is what I want to be doing actually. But I'm way too curious, I think. So,
yeah.
oh, how
It's
does this work?
yeah.
How does this work? So we can use, oh yeah. So for me right now, I'm into inks and textile. So we'll see
Okay.
what happens, what comes out of it.
Yeah, and you could add pastel on top of it, couldn't you?
Yeah,
You could
absolutely.
get a piece of fabric and then you don't like that pastel, whatever, just try it and put it on it and see what happens. And
Yeah, no, there's a lot of
yeah,
fun to be had. And also, I very much respect what you were saying about digging your hole where you feel that you're being called. So the watercolor, let me experiment, let me learn, let me get
yeah,
better, and yeah, dig the one hole and make it bigger and larger and more comfortable. My
yeah, and
mother is
make
a
that,
watercolor painter,
yeah.
and she spent, yeah, 40 years kind of digging that hole, up until one day she turned and said, okay, I'm going to do oil now.
Well, exactly,
So
and that,
age 75, it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, forget it.
yeah. That's what's going to happen to me, and I might in the background, do my oil paintings and just say, hey, guess what? By the way, while I was doing this, whatever. I did this. I noticed that a lot of artists have a few paintings on the go,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I kind of like to do this and then keep at it and get it done and then move on. And if I do it and
Yeah,
it's
there's also this joy with watercolor that you seldom have to wait for it to be.
yeah,
Yeah, so if people who work only with oils, they have to kind of wait a while
yeah,
until it dries before they go to the next layer. With
yeah,
watercolor, you can, persevere on the one thing. um,
yeah.
Thank you very much for having this RT conversation. I hope
Okay, yeah.
our listeners are interested as well. Um, just to because it's already 16 minutes, and I said we
Okay, wind it up.
would.
Yeah.
Um, but just to bring it back home, I would like to remind everyone that whatever we're talking about on this live has nothing to do with Joan's story, which you can listen to on the WLTW 2023 edition summit this weekend. And for that, you need a free ticket. So you can find the link above or below. And what is interesting for me is that we get to know artists, coaches, um, spiritual entrepreneurs in a way that is completely different than you would usually in the summit. And these lives are also kind of unusual. And I like that we have conversations that are not your typical marketing conversation on how to sell something, because what we are offering ourselves first and the listener is a connection with other human beings, in that, and animals this year. This year we also have
Pulse.
the animal connection.
Please. Yes, yes.
So yeah, well, thank you very much, Joan, for having me.
Thank you.
And thank
It's
you to the listeners if you listen to this live or on the replay. We start in 2 days. I'm really excited now. I'm getting excited, and I have to check the thing that I told you earlier that I was going to check, and
mm,
it's not working. Okay. Anyway, so thank you very, very much. And I will see you on the live panels this weekend. I will also see the other people later on today when I have a conversation with Tammy Braswell, another one of
mm.
our amazing speakers from
I've
the
got
Women Lighting the Way 2023 edition.
yeah, I'm doing a big art retreat on Saturday, and then I'll be out in Manchester on Sunday with a big fair. So I will try and pop in, but it'll be in between. Kind of feels like balancing plates. Like,
We know that you will
mm,
be with us in spirit and
yeah,
in heart, and we will be visiting your art fairs as well.
yeah, be nice. Yes, that'd be lovely.
Which means, in case I don't see you this weekend, I'm going to use this opportunity to thank you very much again for being
And
one
thank
of our speakers
yeah,
and for enabling, in a very positive way, anyone to try the artist's way. Because your talk to me was so moving that you kind of gave permission to anyone to give it a try and to declare themselves artists. And this is immensely powerful. So thank you very, very much.
yeah, or whatever they might be. It doesn't even have to be.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even have to be artist.
What is it that you are wanting to do with your life? What have you not done? And let's stop now because you may not have that long. So let's get on and do what it is that
Yeah,
you're meant
get on and do it. Agreed. Absolutely.
to do.
Thank you very much.